Dear students, today I am going to discuss on the topic Neolithic culture of India with special reference to Eastern Group, Southern Group and Northern Group. Let me first introduce about this topic. The term Neolithic has been derived from two Latin words, that is neo meaning new and lithic meaning stone. Hence Neolithic period is also known as New Stone Age. This period is considered as one of the significant cultural stages when men started producing food and shifted to production economy from their previous hunting-gathering stage. Stratigraphic evidences supported by radiocarbon dates suggest that the Neolithic culture in India flourished in the different areas between the mid-3rd millennium BC and at the beginning of the historical period. On the basis of the distribution and cluster of sites, the development of Neolithic pattern in India may broadly be divided into three main broad groups. Number 1, Eastern Group. Number 2, Southern Group, and number 3, Northern Group. Now our next point is Eastern Group. In the Eastern Group, the site in the Vindhyan and Middle Ganga plain, Chotanagpur Plateau in Bihar, Orissa and West Bengal, and northern Indian hills are included. Now let's come to the next point, Middle Ganga plain and Vindhyan region. Explorations conducted in the Middle Ganga plain revealed a good number of sites in the Basti, Siddharthnagar, Sant Kabirnagar, Gorakhpur, Balia and Allahabad districts of Uttar Pradesh. And Saran, Vaishali, Patna, Gaya and Rohtas district of Bihar. The important excavated sites in Uttar Pradesh include Jhusi and Hetapati in Allahabad, Bunadhi and Waina in Balia, Sohagora and Imlidi Kharat in Gorakhpur, Lahura Deva in Sant Kabirnagar, while Chiran in Saran, Chesar Kuttupur in Vaishali, Taradi in Gaya, Maner in Patna, and Chenur in Rohtas in Bihar. Now come to next point, ceramic industry. The study of ceramic industry of the Middle Ganga plain suggests that in the early stage of the Neolithic culture, people were using handmade pottery and evidence at the sites of Chiran, Lahuradeva, Jhusi and Hetapati. The pottery assemblages includes ordinary red wire, lustrous red wire, burnished wire, that is red, black and grey, rusticated wire, black and red wire and corded wire. Pottery types include bowls with varying profile, vases, vessels, basins, miniature jars, handies, etc. Occurrence of painted posters has been reported from Imlidi court, Lahuradeva, Chiran, and Shenua. Court impress pottery mark tradition is one of the important aspects of the Eastern Indian Neolithic culture. The ware was first reported in the Indian context from Assam by T.C. Sharma. Later on, these ware has been reported from several sites of North Vindhyan and Gangetic Valley. Considering the wide occurrence, these ware has been considered as a unique characteristics of the ceramic tradition of Neolithic Chalcolithic culture of Eastern India. The next point is stone and bone objects. From some of the excavated sites like Jushi, Hetapati, Siran, Taradi, Senua, etc. Stone objects including blades, blade plates, scrapers, arrowheads, serrated points, triangles, lunettes, borers, flags, etc. are unearthed. Rounded shells of basalt and granite have also been reported from Siran, Senua, and Hetapati. Fragments of cairns, mullers, balls, hammerstones, etc. fashioned on sandstone or quartzite are also found in the excavated sites. Excavations yielded several bone objects which include salt, scraper, chisels, hammers, needles, points, borers or shaft straighteners, styli, and arrowhead, and bone ornaments like pendants, earrings, bangles, discs, combs, etc. Bone arrowheads and points have also been found at sites like Imlidi Court, Senua, Lahuradev, Hetapati, and Jushi. Now come to the structural remains. From the excavation at a number of sites, evidence of wattle and dove structures for settlement of Neolithic people has come to light. Traces of porthole and hut floors are found. The screen walls of huts were made of split bamboo and reed. The site of Chiran has yielded the evidence of pit dwelling. There are also evidences of the other structural remains such as huts, pits and silo, probably for keeping grains. The next point is economic life. A number of eastern groups of Neolithic sites like Koldiwa and Mahagara in the Vindhyas and several sites like Sohagaura, Kirati, Naran, Chiran and Senur in the Middle Ganga plain have revealed evidence of early plant cultivation and animal domestication, microliths, bone and antler tools and terracotta objects besides ground stone tools. Excavation conducted at Chiran, Senur, Imlidi-Khat, Lahuradev and Jusi have yielded several cereals which were cultivated by the Neolithic people of the mid-Ganga plain. Both wild Oryza rupiprogan and domesticated rice Oryza sativa have been identified at Lahuradeva, along with rice, hull and single row barley, bread wheat and dwarf wheat, jowar millet and pearl millet have been reported from Imlidi-Khat. Rice was the staple food of the people. Now come to the chronology. Excavated Neolithic sites of Middle Ganga plain such as Chiran. It's dated 1760 plus minus 150 BC and 1680 plus minus 135 BC. Lahuradeva, it ranges from 5320 plus minus 90 BP and 6290 plus minus 160 BP. And Jusi, it ranges from 8140 plus minus 220 BP and 6760 plus minus 190 BP and 7110 plus minus 170 BP respectively have been furnished by carbon-14 dates. These dates would push back the antiquity of the Neolithic culture in mid-Ganga plain around the later half of the 8th millennium BP. The Neolithic sites in the Vindhyan such as Koldiwa, Mahagara and Pacho in the Bilan Valley in Allahabad district, Indari and Tokwa in Mirzapur district in Uttar Pradesh, and Kunjun in the Mid-Son Valley in Sindhi district of Madhya Pradesh have yielded several C14 or carbon-14 dates or thermoluminescent dates. The dated sites are Koldiwa. It ranges from 4530 plus minus 185 BC, 5440 plus minus 240 BC and 6570 plus minus 210 BC. Mahagara It ranges from 2265 BC and 1616 BC, 1400 plus minus 150 BC, 1330 plus minus 120 BC, 1440 plus minus 100 BC, and 1480 plus minus 110 BC. Kunjun. It ranges from 1565 to 1265 BC and 3530 to 3335 BC. And Dokwa. It's about 6591 BC, 5976 BC and 4797 BC. In the light of these dates, the antiquity of Neolithic culture of Vindhyan region may be traced back to 7th millennium BC. Now come to Chota Nagpur Plateau. Since the beginning of the 19th century, Neolithic artifacts like pointed butt shells, chisels, bar shells, shoulder shells, hammerstones, and perforated discs have been recovered at a number of surface sites in the Chota Nagpur Plateau in Bihar, Orissa, and West Bengal. Excavations carried out at a few sites in Orissa like Golbai Shasan in Khurda district produce a rich bone tool industry and evidence of circular and rectangular wattle and dove houses, besides stone shells and an extended human burial. Corner in Kyonjar district produced pointed butt shells. Copper bangles and evidence of wattle and dove structures. Sankarjangs in Angul district have unearthed several human burials in association with bar shells and copper artifacts. Ujjain, one of the most well-known Neolithic sites in eastern India, was excavated by B.K. Thapar in early 1960s. The ceramic industry of Ujjain comprises grit tempered red ware with incised and fingertip decorations along with plain orange-brown ware. Ground tool comprises rounded butt axes, edges, sigils, mace heads, pounders and grinding stones. Radiocarbon dates from Golbai, Susan and Sankarjang suggest duration of 2200 to 700 BC for the Neolithic culture of this region. Now let's move to the Northeast India. In Northeast India, during the 1960s and 1970s, three important excavations were carried out, one in the North Kasar Hills and two in the district of Kamaru. In 1963, M.C. Goswami and T.C. Sharma carried out excavation at Daujali Hading, North Kasar Hills of Assam. and for the first time they gave stratigraphical occurrence of ground and polish axis and also of pottery. Out of 202 stone implements, 65 are recovered from the excavations, 60 from the road cutting, and 77 from the surface. The implements comprise edge tools, grinding stones, querns, mullers, quartzite pebbles, and fossil wood. Out of over 600 potsherds, 595 were of court impress variety, 19 of stamped dull red variety, and 11 of brick red variety. S. N. Rao conducted excavation at the Neolithic site called Sarutaru in Kamaruk district, Assam during 1967 to 1973. The cultural content recovered from the excavations include 9 ground stone cells and potsherds. The cells are made on slate of grey to black color sandstone, of cream to buff color, and are manufactured in 2 stages: chipping and grinding. The pottery is handmade and made of clay mixed with coarse particles. The 3 ceramic types on the basis of color are brown, buff, and grey. Another excavated site, Maragdola, reveals wheel-turned pottery of fine kaolin clay and a soldered shaft. The Neolithic culture of northeastern India is distinguished by the predominance of soldered shells and the characteristic court-marked pottery. The present-day shifting cultivation in northeast India may be an adaptation strategy of the Neolithic people to this area. S. K. Roy did an elaborate study on the type of artifacts from both prehistoric and modern-day slash and burn cultivation. He studied the agricultural implements from the Neolithic sites of the Garo Hills and the tools of ethnographic contexts. According to him, the tools from the Neolithic sites and the ethnographic situation at Garo Hills revealed homogeneity in function. Now come to the southern groove. Comparatively, the southern Neolithic groove is better understood than the other Neolithic grooves of India. It is primarily a product of human adaptation to the semi-arid environment marked by low rainfall. It has been found in northern Karnataka and western Andhra Pradesh. Although a few sites also occur in southern Karnataka, coastal Andhra Pradesh, and northern Tamil Nadu. Some of the important excavated sites in Karnataka are Sangankalu and Teklakota in Ballari district, Brahmagiri in Chitaldurg district, Maski, Pitlihal and Kotkal in Raichur district, Halur in Dhawa district, T. Narsipur and Hamins in Mysore district. Sites in Andhra Pradesh are Nagarjunakonda in Guntur district, Ramapuram and Veerapuram in Kurnool district. Another site is Payampalli in North Arcot district in Tamil Nadu. The stone tools of the Neolithic people consist of ground stone tools like axes, edges, wedges, chisels, microliths, and stone blades. At Palavoy, a rich bone tool assemblage comprising axes, blades, and points has been found. Pottery was initially only handmade and of poor quality with drab grey color and consists of jar, spouted vessels, and bowls of various sizes, sometimes decorated with incised design. In the latter stage, wheel-made sturdy pottery decorated with painted motifs came into use. An important new ceramic was the black and red ware. The Neolithic people lived in circular or rectangular wattle and dove huts. With floors having stone pavings. Large stones were placed round the huts on the outside to protect them from winds. There is evidence of a burned hut at the site of Sangan Kalu, which indicate that the hut had a thatched roof. The study of burial practice indicates that the dead, both children and adults, were buried in double or multiple clay urns beneath the floor of their houses. Southern Neolithic people practiced an agro-pastoral economy. The domesticated cattle, Bos indicus, buffalo, Bubalus bubalis, sheep, Ovis aris, goat, Capra hircus agicus, pig, Sus scrofa crassitatus, dog, Canis familiaris, and fowl, Gallus species. Cattle play a predominant role in the economy, as is evident by the abundance of bone refuse, along with the presence of ash mounds, terracotta figurines, and pottery in the bruising of rocks near archaeological sites. They also cultivated a variety of crops such as millet, pulses, and legumes on hilltops and in narrow valleys between the hills using rain-fed gravity flow irrigation, as also on alluvial banks of rivers. Now come to the problems of ash mounds. A very distinctive feature of the southern group of Neolithic culture is ash mounds, which are heaps of ash produced by the burning of cow dung. The content of the ash includes stone and bone tools, animal bones, and pottery. At Utnur and Budial, hoof impressions of cattle have been found beneath the cow dung, showing evidence of cattle penning. Besides, Budial has also produced evidence of a bustling floor. Some of the important ash mound sites are Utnur in Mahabubnagar district, Andhra Pradesh, studied by F.R. Alsin. Palavoy in Anantapur district, Andhra Pradesh, studied by B. Rami Reddy. Kugal in Ballari district, Karnataka, studied by G. G. Majumdar and S. N. Rajaguru. Kodekal in Karnataka, studied by K. Padaya. And Budihal in Gulbarga district, Karnataka, studied by K. Padaya. The Neolithic culture is dated by carbon-14 dating from the middle of the 3rd millennium BC to the beginning of the 1st millennium BC. Now come to the northern group. The evidence of the Neolithic culture in the northern India comes from several sites of Kashmir Valley. The important sites are Burjahom, Gupkral, Kanishpur, Bagagun, Hariparigam, Jaya Devi Udar, Olchibak, etc. And nearly 40 Neolithic sites have been discovered. The understanding of the Neolithic culture in Kashmir is based on excavations at the 3 sites, Burjahom, Gupkral or Gopkral, and Kanishkapur or Kanishpur. Burjahom, situated in the northeast of Kashmir, in the Kashmir Valley, was the first Neolithic site discovered by Dittera and Peterson in 1935. Burjahom was excavated by T. N. Khazanchi for 7 seasons. It starts from 1960 and ended in 1971. Gupkral was excavated for only 2 seasons, that is from 1980 up to 1982 by A. K. Sharma. And Kanishkapura for only 1 season, that is from 1998 to 1999 by B. R. Mani. From the Kanishkapura, a polished stone shelf was found. 4 successive floor levels along with post holes were noticed. The ceramic industry comprises both handmade as well as wheel-turn pottery. Fine grey wire of medium to thick fabric, coarse grey wire, red wire, dull red wire, black wire of both plain and burnished varieties are important types. The important shapes include bowls, shallow bowls, or dish on stand, jar, vases, and long neck badges. The evidence of copper objects in the form of a bangle piece, a needle, 2 pins, an ear or nose ring, and a chisel from the late Neolithic levels at Kanishkapura suggests the Chalcolithic context, probably with the Harappans. The Neolithic folk of the Kashmir Valley made various artifacts of stone, bone, and antler tools. The stone tools are comprised polished axes and chisels, harvesters, pounders, polishers, querns, grinders, and perforated discs, etc. The bone and antler tool industry comprise harpoons, staples, needles, awls, spear points, arrowheads, daggers, and scrapers. Archaeobotanical and archaeozoological evidence suggests that the subsistence economy of northern Neolithic people was based on a combination of plant cultivation, animal husbandry, and hunting-gathering. They cultivated crops such as seeds of wheat, triticum species, barley, Cordium bulgari, common pea, Pisum arvensi, and lentil, Lens culinaris, and domesticated animals like cattle, sheep, goat, pig, dog, and fowl. The northern group of Neolithic culture of India practiced both primary and secondary burial. In a primary burial, the body was placed in a crouch position, and sometimes dogs were buried with the master. Semi-precious stone beads are also found in some graves, and in case of secondary burials, bones were sometimes treated with red ochre. There are several graves of animals like dog, wolf, and ibex. Neolithic culture of northern group is dated to a time bracket of 2400 to 1500 BC, based on several uncalibrated carbon-14 dates from Burjahom. The new radiocarbon dates from Kanishkapura suggest the beginning of Neolithic age in Kashmir in the middle of the 4th millennium BC, with ceramic Neolithic appearing in the late 4th millennium BC. A calibrated carbon-14 date of one charcoal sample from Kanishkapura is 3361 to 2937 BC. Dear students, now let's come to the concluding part. In the above discussion, we have seen the archaeological record of three important groups of Neolithic culture of India. The Neolithic culture are distributed in the Kashmir Valley, the northern Vindhyas, middle Ganga Valley, and eastern, northeastern, and South India. The overall topography and environmental pattern of this area shape the cultural development. Hence, we see different traits in the development of Neolithic culture in different regional contexts.